I hope this video finds you well. This morning, I'm so excited to discuss this, but there's going to be a lot of videos on cars. I've kind of introduced it on the fact that I'm a massive petrol gearhead. It just is what it is. I've spent probably 2 decades in the automotive industry, and I am just a massive car guy. So I've got my Daniel Ricciardo shirt on for a reason, and I've got my tactical fleet hat because I'm not paid by any OEMs. So let me give you some neutral advice from a massive car guy about how to buy a nice car. You shouldn't spend all kinds of money on a car. Now, if you want to and you have the money, great, do your thing. Buy whatever you want. But you can have a nice car and not spend too much money. And really, right now, there is a massive gap in the market because, and really, it's not even a gap. There's parity. It's almost like college basketball. Every team is reasonably good. On any given weeknight, somebody can win, right? But cars aren't getting better necessarily. They're getting safer. They're getting more technological. They'll have a few more safety features, but they aren't getting more reliable. That is just bar none truth. Toyota, Honda, and I realize I'm wearing a Honda shirt, but Daniel Ricciardo's F1 team, very different from what's actually on the consumer market these days. Try getting an F1 motor from Honda to put in one of their vehicles. But let's discuss good cars to buy. And let's discuss some major players that are happening right now. A B58 BMW, which is their 6-cylinder motor. They will be specified by the 40i typically in most of the range. So you've got your 340, 540, 740, 640s up until 2018. And then you've got the 840 as well. And also the X540i, X340i, which is a really fun and hot car. I'm not an X3 guy, but they are very, very, very capable and good vehicles and great size. We rented one this last week. I actually have a problem with the 30i that we rented. Honestly, if you close your eyes, you don't really know you're in a BMW. Good, bad, or indifferent, you don't know. But it's an extremely reliable and good car. So don't take that away from it by any means. And as an American society, we need to start understanding, and people need to know, if you go to other countries, taxis generally are going to be E-Class Mercedes. They're going to be BMWs, 3 Series, 5 Series. So you're talking about cars that you can put miles on. Now, are they going to have maintenance things to happen, right? Are they going to have maintenance issues? Issues are a strong word. Predictably unreliable is the answer. If you have a good Euro mechanic that will be honest with you on the volume as a whole that they're constantly seeing, because understand the volume cars are going to be the 330s and the 540s. So the 4 cylinders and the 6 cylinders. Okay? Really and truly, all of your German and Euros and really every manufacturer right now, you've got 3, maybe 4 base motors total. Now, take trucks out of the scenario for now. Let's definitely talk trucks because I've got a lot of inside knowledge on that. But the reality of that is, if you're looking for a good car or SUV, you're generally, from an OEM standpoint, talking about 3 motors per OEM. And which ones are good, which ones are bad. Like, GM's having a major problem right now on the 6.2s. So the more expensive motor is actually the one you don't want. And 5.3's cylinder deactivation issues, oil consumption issues, they're not getting better. And really and truly, a lot of times, the older the Chevy, the better the Chevy. Which is counterintuitive, but it is what it is. There's a reason some of the square bodies and like the bug eye trucks and Tahoes from, say the mid 2000s, their used value is high, especially in good nick. If that plastic slash leather interior held up at all, Escalade 2, any of those. The 6.2s used to be bulletproof. You look for an Escalade, you'd look for a Yukon XL or a Denali, and you'd find a heck of a vehicle. Right now, they put EPA. They were trying to get better fuel economy out of them. They're trying to get a little bit more power out of them. They've got issues. And they've got as many issues in it as anything else. And I would question warranties wholeheartedly for a company that does not necessarily have a loaner fleet. Loaner fleets are important, especially with a new car or a used certified vehicle. With a Mercedes or BMW, you're at least going to have a loaner fleet where you can call ahead on a predictably reliable vehicle. If it's a certified car under warranty and you're going to use a dealership, they're going to have a loaner fleet for you probably. And if you call them ahead, because if you've got a good service advisor, they can tell you every pitfall, exactly when everything's going to happen on those cars. They can. Because they're that predictably reliable and predictably having the same issues. In the BMW B58, you will need valve cover gaskets from 70 to 90,000 miles. As soon as it starts seeping, it's not a big deal, but as soon as it starts leaking a little bit, yes, you'll need valve covers. How much does that cost? From a good independent, about $1,000. Not that horrible. Now, on the Mercedes 6-cylinders, it's a little bit more intensive. It's a lot of O-rings, a lot of valve covers, and a lot of times, especially in the hot V8s, but in the 6-cylinder too, they're built basically the same way. It's almost the same motor. They just cut 2 cylinders off of it. The E450, the 450 delineation. So GLE 450, E450, CLE, all these different E450 delineations. Those twin turbo cars are going to need an O-ring and a gasket change, like 70 to 90,000 miles, somewhere in there, depending on how you drive it. Highway miles, probably in the 90,000 mile range. Now, if you're just driving 5 miles a day or whatever, you're going to need it probably sooner, 70 to 80,000 miles. European cars don't necessarily like to sit. They're workhorses. They're built to go. So, and talk to an old Porsche owner. They leak like a sieve when they sit. They want to be driven. The driver's cars. So, you're going to need predictable things. But, here's the fun part. The predictable depreciation's there too. And it's linear and it's rough. So the idea is buy a used one. Now, if you want to pay a little bit more and get a certified one, great. Good call. Get a warranty, feel free. Again, they have loaner fleets. They're a lot more used to cars coming in needing XXX. Here's 3 days with a brand new car. Chevy, CDJR, talked to a Wagoneer owner lately. Oof. Now, Mercedes GLSs are not the used car to buy either. So if you need a big one, it's a crapshoot right now. It's tough. I've talked to many friends, family members, everything else. It's almost interesting to look for a newer generation GLS right now with the 6-cylinder motor. Or the V8 with lower miles, and then just know that she's going to have issues 70 to 80,000 miles. And it's going to be probably $2,000 to $3,000 for that fix. Now, your extended warranties are typically going to cost you $2,000 to $3,000 at time of sale. Make sure you know how much it is. And weigh that. Are you going to spend $2,000 or $3,000 in servicing on this car? On the BMWs, on a B58? Probably not, actually. Unless they have bad blowback. But generally speaking, especially before 100,000 miles, valve cover gaskets, O-rings, keep that thing, make sure it's maintenance properly. it's a good car. One of the better options out there. Over Honda. I would under 100,000 miles. Issues. It's interesting now. Especially with the new Toyota motors too. They're having some problems. Look into it. Now the depreciation is nothing on those cars, so you almost want to get a new one. Or you want to find one maybe from the previous gen right motor, GX460. There's a lot of really good cars in that range. Do not get me wrong by any means, but you're going to pay more for them. I can find a 50 to 60,000 mile 40i BMW in a heartbeat in the 20s. No problem. All right, I'm trying to keep this short, but we're going to go off of this very deep. I hope this is going to be the first of many, and I hope this helps somebody. Thanks.